Space tourism is still in an early stage, but we do see the progress moving faster and faster. It now costs thousands to fly into space for a few minutes and a few millions to stay in a space station, but the costs have been declining and we are on the right way to make it affordable someday. In this video, I will talk to you about how space tourism started and where it's going now. If you want me to go into more details about space tourism, make sure to like this video. Space tourism itself is human space travel for recreational purposes. There are several different types of space tourism, including orbital, suborbital, and lunar space tourism. Eventually we might get recreational space travel to other planets like Mars, but before we could do this we will need a decent amount of progress in the space industry. During the period from 2001 to 2009, 7 space tourists made 8 space flights aboard a Russian Soyuz spacecraft to the International Space Station, brokered by Space Adventures in conjunction with Roscosmos and RSC Energia. These were some of the first space tourists opening the cosmos for common people. The publicized price was in the range of 20 to 25 million per trip. Some space tourists have signed contracts with third parties to conduct certain research activities while in orbit. By 2007, space tourism was thought to be one of the earliest markets that would emerge for commercial spaceflight. Russia halted orbital space tourism in 2010 due to the increase in the International Space Station crew size, using the seats for expedition crews that would previously have been sold to paying spaceflight participants. Orbital tourist flights were set to resume in 2015, but the planned flight was postponed indefinitely. Russian orbital tourism eventually resumed with the launch of Soyuz MS-20 in 2021. On June 7, 2019, NASA announced that starting in 2020, the organization aims to start allowing private astronauts to go on the International Space Station, with the use of the SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft and the Boeing Starliner spacecraft for public astronauts, which is planned to be priced at $35,000 per day for one astronaut, and an estimated $15 million for the ride there and back. Work also continues towards developing suborbital space tourism vehicles. This is being done by aerospace companies like Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic. SpaceX announced in 2018 that they are planning on sending space tourists, including Yusaku Maezawa, on a free return trajectory around the moon on the Starship. We can see that in the last few years a lot of private companies have jumped in to compete for a market share in space. This might lower the costs drastically, and it might make space accessible for almost anyone in the future. Would you like to travel to space as a tourist, or do you rather stay on the ground? If you like this video, don't forget to push that button and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more.